Welcome back to Mystical Ninja starring Goemon. So, once again, we're outside of a dungeon, so why don't we stay in a new room today? Let's go to the silver room and hope that's a fair bit better than the bronze room, which I think was only a room out of technicality. Alright, here's a normal room. Don't know what that says over there.
I'm surprised there aren't, like, gags in those rooms.
Alright, so next we'll check Sasuke's, idle animation. While that dog just paces around uncomfortably. Look at it go.
I mean, it is a Shiba Inu, they're full of energy.
So yeah, Sasuke has some tea, isn't that nice?
The dog's gonna steal your tea.
Oh no. And then he just falls the fuck asleep. Head kinda just rattles off a bit.
That dog is not bothered at all.
But he's fine. John is used to this.
No, now it's upset.
I was the first folk dancing champion. Hey, I like it when you say things that aren't important. That's my favorite thing. So anyway, I'm actually doing something a little bit late. We're back at Poke Village because the kids are returned. This actually happened after Ghost Toy's Castle, not the Festival Castle. It's driving me nuts. But yeah, we could have done this earlier, but I figure we'll do this now. Good time for it, she said, looking at the video time. It's also worth noting that, yep, Poke Village also has a different theme once you actually save everyone. Wow! Turns out being kidnapped was actually good for me.
As soon as you get back? Your parents do not give a shit!
Alright, welcome home. Get back to your fucking chores, kid.
Never gonna get used to how much these guys shake.
Alright, so where's our reward, random NPC? Alright, so that's the obligatory smooching NPC. You did a thing, he's just gonna smooch you. I think I already actually saved them, kid. Already handled that one.
Anyways, I always like it when games onomatopoeia kissing as smack.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of like the better unintentional jokes of Earthbound. Couldn't tell if you're getting kissed or getting slapped across the face.
It's up to you. Ain't my fault, I'm the best looking one around here.
By which I mean I have perfect eyesight.
Oh no, this man's a sicko. Alright, well, he's getting ready for the feast by eating. Seems like a bad thing to do before the feast. Alright, that's a weirdly normal thing to say. What's up with you, child?
Do you not know what game you're in? Go back to Final Fantasy.
Go back to Final Fantasy, where villagers just say normal things and the dogs just say arf.
Somebody got lost on their way to Ocarina of Time.
Well, that's not what the dragon's for. The dragon is for air travel, come on. Oh, yep, that's exactly how that worked out. We went to Kumpira Mountain, and that solved all our problems immediately. Well, see you later. Alright, so with that little detour back to Fokipoke Village done, that fan's having a good time. We're done with that detour, so back to the road. So I'm pretty much picking up from the cavern where the last dungeon was. So Festival Temple Castle is back there, and here's the fence. So, where we need to go next is actually pretty close by. Never actually looked at the barrier, but it's gone now. So you get back here. You know what, fine, you're not big enough. Alright, and here we are at the Gateway Viewpoint to do something? I mean, something's going on with this region, so guess we'll go to hell. Oh, and there's just Omitsu from the first town. It's just Omitsu, Goemon's maybe girlfriend, who knows? We deliver all over Japan. Don't know why you're surprised.
This guy paid like $300 for his delivery fee.
Got some dumplings to deliver. Yeah? She sure did. Those uncovered dumplings. Wait a minute, I gotta stop thinking about my strong girlfriend.
Coward.
Gotta get to that island instead.
Goemon, certified coward.
No, I've got this delivery. See you later. Ah, shit, it's Ozma. Dang it, Loka, this is what happens when you don't beat Ozma in Final Fantasy IX. He just appears in another game.
That might be the most obscure joke you could possibly make, because no one else on Earth knows that I didn't beat Ozma in Final Fantasy IX.
And now anybody watching does know, so there you go.
Well, looking at this, I clearly made the right choice not to fight it. I mean, look at that fucking thing.
Just weird, fucked up blob that just ate the level geometry.
And now it's gone.
It's alright, we've established she's very strong. So, you know, if we ever manage to find that bit of land Kyushu, wherever it's gone, we'll probably just find that if it's survival of the fittest, she's come out on top. So we should probably figure out a way to save everybody else in Kyushu before it comes to that. Ah, yes, of course. So, here is the point in the game where it's actually mandatory for us to go to the fortune teller. So let's go back to Oedo Town. It's been a hot minute since we've been here. Anything new to say? Ah. Sharp as a tack you are. Oh, but yeah, a whole fruit cake, that would be ridiculous. Love talking about UFO. Alright, hey, you like the Thunder Shrine or whatever. How about that fan club you've been trying to make? Doesn't seem like he's a fan of it anymore. Okay, well, I guess that just developed and sort of fizzled while we were gone. The strange paths life takes. Alright, well, we're hearing a lot about the pipe maker. However, there are no, story markers until you speak to the fortune teller, so you gotta go here, even if you can kind of figure out where you need to go. Yeah, hey, Plasma Man, how's it going? I know it looks like I've been avoiding you, but I haven't. Do you want me to elaborate? No, just take my money and tell me where I need to go. Wait, hold on a sec. Before we move on, I should point out, I was going to mention this, and then I forgot, and we're never going to see Plasma Man again. So I should mention now that they actually changed his design from the original version. Originally he looked like this, and that's always what he looks like for the rest of the series, including Goemon's Great Adventure, which also came out in the US. So yeah, they just darkened his skin for some reason, so shrug. Anyway, back to whatever we were talking about before.
So anyways, did you know that pronouncing UFO like that is an American thing?
Oh, is it?
In most other parts of the world, they call it a UFO.
I just thought that was a thing that people did when they said UFO wrong. Okay.
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, that's wrong. You just say UFO. Sometimes you pronounce the acronym, sometimes you don't. It's all based on what sounds better, and UFO sounds awful.
Look, UFO is just what happens when I run into a big Orban Etrian Odyssey. I just shout UFO. But, you know, that for a UFO, can't get behind that. How you doing, Cutting Man? Well, I don't think the grocery store owners usually do that, but okay. Usually the owner just delegates that sort of work. Get to sleep!
Yeah, usually the owner does jack shit. Oh, look out!
It's fine, he is fast. She can't be caught. Cha. Alright, so, we've gotta go to the frozen north, but there are... there are a few steps we gotta take along the way to do that. First off, somebody's moving here. So yes, there is now a new person in the empty house. For people to develop their muscles. So yeah, we've got two hints now, other than the Mount Fear trip that we can't actually go to yet. Mokube, a few people have talked about him and his pipe making. We visited him before, but if people are talking about him again, he must be relevant. And second, in his old place is now the muscle gym, where this guy's hanging out. You'll be able to simply push the metal box. You know, the metal box which you hate so? Well, guess what? You can just push it. That being said, though, this is a character-specific training, and I think we know who has to do this one. Alright, so this is going to be Goemon's magic command. His old C-up prompt.
Ah, yes, the most powerful magic, pushing a box.
Indeed. So, this minigame is kind of infamous. A lot of people think it's one of the hardest in the game, and think it takes a whole lot of tries to do. I don't think it's too bad, but it is pretty rude. I did have to restart once. But I did also want to show this off. No, I absolutely don't need instructions. How dare you? So you've got to survive for 99 seconds without any of these balloons being popped. These guys, however, will try to pop the balloons.
Fuck you, Mr. Siren.
They're called like Oyakatas, but I keep seeing that as just Okuyasu's. It's just Okuyasu with hand puppets, just trying to pop these balloons.
Here comes a special boy.
But yeah, basically, I feel like the prime strategy here is to just throw about 3 boxes at every one of these guys that's come up just a little too far. My first attempt, I basically just tried to circle and throw one at a time, but sometimes these guys just kind of shrug off one and will just keep going. And I believe their patterns are more or less set, so they kind of just have points where they'll just decide, I would like to fuck up your day, and then do so. So if you're not paying attention to one at a given time, then you'll probably lose, but again, 3 boxes should do it. Just 3 boxes if they've come up too far, and you're golden. You out of there. And yeah, see that guy's making a beeline for it. As is that guy. Even in the future, I'm like, I don't know, maybe you should have thrown more boxes at him, but it's fine by this point. 5 seconds. As long as none of them are right at the balloons, we're good. And there you go. Simple enough.
Yeah, I can see this being a bullshit minigame.
Yeah. You just need to know how many boxes to throw, but it just, it stumped a lot of people. Or maybe not stumped, but it throws people through a loop.
Anyways, Goemon's gonna start making a bunch of jokes about his mom now.
Alright, so we have an ability that consumes a little bit of money, however, we'll be able to push things, and also, the damage we do and receive is doubled, which I don't think double damage is ever going to be relevant enough to warrant the risk of getting 2 times damage, so only use this new ability for pushing.
But I'm sure all the high-skill Goemon players are just constantly in that mode.
Oh yeah, definitely. Just grind up Rio early on so you can use this all the time. So, this metal box that stumped us long ago, early on in the LP, in order to defeat this box, we must go further beyond! I love this so much.
Toei's gonna fucking sue.
What are you gonna fucking do, Toriyama? This is a Goemon with double power. You can't defeat him.
Like, there are people who say with, like, complete sincerity that Toei should sue Sega for over Supersonic. But, like, holy shit! Supersonic's at least a hedgehog.
I adore the fact that, like, part of the joke is just, like, Goemon goes Super Saiyan just to push boxes, but also, like, doubling the damage you give and receive is just a Saiyan thing. So, like, it's actually kind of accurate as well.
Mm-hmm. It's also usually how Dragon Ball games do the Kaioken, even though it's not, like, canonically accurate. What was that one fan Dragon Ball, like, pen and paper RPG? Where, like, Kaioken boosted all your dice rolls, but if you screwed up, you took damage?
Yeah, I don't remember that one.
And if you, like,
well,
did it at a high...
of it.
It may just be called, like, Dragon Ball Fan RPG or something. But it, like, actually took into account the fact that, like, no, you're supposed to be better at everything. It just might also kill you.
See, all I remember is just the Spirit Bomb. You just fucking use all of the dice.
You remember
Infinite dice.
the officially licensed Dragon Ball game, which was somehow way, way worse
Oh, that's right. Those are different.
than
I
even the
forgot.
most, like, hacked together fan tabletop RPG. Goku's Kamehameha took 90 dice. Not plus 90, you had to roll 90 dice to figure out what your attack damage was, and Yamcha only had to roll like 4.
God, just... It's so ridiculous. Like, this is literally a thing you would never play without Roll20. Like, you need computer dice. Who the fuck is going to roll 90 dice? Not even Shadowrun wants you to roll 90 fucking dice. Shadowrun would look at that and think, you're going a little overboard, mate. Maybe back down the dice.
It's just one of those things where, like, they start with the strongest joke because Goku's the first character they list. It's like Kamehameha, 90 dice. Spirit Bomb, infinite dice.
You have to go around the neighborhood collecting all of the die from your neighbors to accurately simulate getting a spirit bomb together.
I gotta steal Breadmaster's joke if you're just accumulating all of your dice and then throwing it on your table to break it. Anyways, anything in Goemon we're talking about right now, or are we just navigating a cave?
This is kind of just a transitional cave, yeah. It's taking us from one area to the next. So it's just a bit of cave platforming. You might have noticed I messed up a few jumps so much I had to edit a little bit early on, but it's fine. I got the technically trickier jump, so there's that. Also, buttons you can't jump on to activate, you just stab them. Shrug.
Okay, you talk about the weird whack-a-mole game being a game ender. That could have actually been a game ender for Kid Me. I could have legitimately not figured that out.
You always jump on buttons, what the fuck?
I mean, I could have figured it out, but it would have been entirely up to luck.
Alright, so we're in Mutsu, which is a very lovely nighttime snowy area, so probably one of my favorite areas in the game, just from a purely base aesthetic standpoint, though I think some of the earlier areas in the game have had, like, nice views. Or nicer views, I guess. But still, I do like a good snow mountain texture. .jpg.
Yeah, people like to pretend that all early 3D games look bad, but it's really not the case.
I mean, it doesn't look the best, but it's still a pretty good looking game. Honestly, I'd play a fucking modern day game that looks like this. Hey, indies, you want to make a game that looks like this? I'll play it. I'll play your thing.
A lot of them are. A lot of indie games have moved past retro pixels and are moving on to retro polygons. Hell, the new Jet Set Radio successor looks exactly the same as Jet Set Radio because there's no need to update those graphics.
Yep, already fucking perfect. If it wasn't the best in original Jet Set Radio, they just fine-tuned it in future and there it goes. You're good. Now here's a successor. It just looks like that because cell shading is still a good look.
Anyways, Waterfall.
Yeah, so the waterfall just has an explicit message that says, hey, you might be here a little bit early, and lo and behold, we're here early. So, we've got that corner. There is a fortune doll in this cavern that I will get to later, but for the time being, we've got to head out to a village. Gonna kill this guy first, though, because I can. Gonna inflict cruelty upon that random robot. Also, yeah, the fucking birds just fucking bomb you in this area. They're just birds that swoop down and throw bombs at you. That's another enemy I love a lot. Alright, and now we're in Festival Village. They're so energetic. So, it's a not too bad village. Let's see. This has got the sign out front, but that you can't read, so it's probably it's probably just the inn. You better be excited, motherfucker, or you better get the fuck out of this country.
Jeez. Here's a little excessive.
You will be festive, or you will perish. You would think the Festival Temple Castle would have been closer to here, because I think they would have enjoyed it.
But, like, I'm never a fan of love it or leave it bullshit, but if you're just talking about, like, a specific party, like, Jesus. Well, you don't like my uncle's 4th of July barbecue, then get out of the country.
To be fair, I think the equivalent would be more so just, do you not like my uncle's every day of the year 4th of July barbecue? Well...
It's even worse!
Guess what? You're an idiot.
I don't like celebrating the 4th of July even once.
Nope. Alright, so at the moment we just have a big ol' shopping circle. It's just a whole lot of the shops and whatnot, all located in one convenient spot, except the inn. Nobody appreciates the inn. Oh no, that's Kirby. It's either Kirby or DDD, that's your problem. Alright, so let's see... Ah, there's just a dog here. The dog pet. Alright, so food's getting stolen, and now the ocean smells delicious. Gotcha. What do these hints mean? I don't know. Like many things in Mystical Ninja starring Goemon, you kinda just have to roll with it. You'll figure it out eventually. Oh, dog. Untalked to dog. Extra powerful weapon or something. Well, I guess I just have to get either a legendary sword or, I don't know, a bazooka? Either or at this point. Don't you think it's hot-blooded village? Oh, I wish it were true, old man.
God, I want to know what that would be in Japanese.
God, it's probably a better joke in Japanese, but you know what? I'm fine with it just being translated like that.
Mm-hmm. I don't think hot-blooded is... Usually, like, things being hot-blooded is translated from the word boyagare. Or one of the, like, versions of that word.
Mm-hmm.
So I've tried to figure out if I know enough, like, fan-brat Japanese to cobble together that village name.
I've said it many times before, but, you know, this is one of those games where they didn't really bother to, localize it. And so sometimes jokes are just there as not really jokes anymore, which just develops a very fun non-humor that I adore about this game.
Yeah.
The jokes are just weird. Which, gonna be honest, works a lot better nowadays probably than it did back then, just because non-humor is just the thing everybody likes now.
Well, anti-humor, like a lot of things, goes in cycles. I think it was kind of big in the 90s for a while. I always lose track of, like, the exact dates that video games were a thing. It's like, I forget what years the Nintendo 64 covered. But there could have been a bit of overlap, I don't know.
Nowadays, though, Dadaism's back, baby.
This... I don't know if this reaches Dada. It's not
this specifically, I just mean in general.
Okay, yeah. It's not offensive enough to be Dada.
Despair is back, and the only way we can react to it is by ridiculing it.
I mentioned my favorite piece of Dada work on one of your streams, but for people who don't watch your streams, it's just a copy of the Mona Lisa, but they drew a mustache over her and then titled it "She Wants to Fuck."
Excellent.
And speaking of translations, like, it's in French, and the literal translation of the title is "Her ass is hot," but that's French slang for "she's horny." But it's specifically like a ruder, more vulgar way to say she's horny. So it's not just she's horny, it's she wants to fuck.
Alright, well, we've met the drummer, and the drummer has nothing to do with anything. We can just talk to him for a bit. And as always, he has text size that is larger, and that is just inherently funny to me. Every time. Just shouting, "No!" Yes, I see. Well, we're hearing a lot about Mokube, like I said earlier, but... here we're actually getting a more concrete answer as to why we might be hearing about him. He's developed his skills, and we might be able to unblock a road if we go back to him, but we'll do that later. She summoned an alien spirit and, well, it was just an annoying thing. Is it an alien with the powers to make headaches? No, you just look at this guy and it's like, why? Why are you here? Nobody wants to see you, alien spirit. Ah yes, the North Pole, famously close to Japan, I see. Those icebergs go a long way. That fucker would fight Godzilla? I swear to you, on my mother's name, it absolutely would.
Oh my god, in the fucking original text, that probably said a Tokusatsu movie. Because Tokusatsu, like, literally translates to something like special photography.
So yeah, they would have just gone with the literal translation, because the team would have just been like, well, nobody knows what a Tokusatsu is.
I mean, arguably, most people, like most English speakers, don't know that today. I'm still pretty sure most English speakers don't know what senpai means, but we've kind of given up on not translating that, I think. Mm-hmm. We're just gonna force everyone to learn what senpai means, whether they want to or not.
Alright, so we've got this lake here. Big ol' lake. There's a button down there, but we'd have to go under the water in order to actually press it, and we can't do that. Other things of note that we can't do yet. We've got Ugo, the stone circle.
Wait, who's going?
You cannot turn this into who's on first.
God damn you!
Goemon and Abyssamaru are probably just doing that constantly in the background. They're just constantly doing Abbott and Costello jokes while we're not looking at them.
Alright, Abyssamaru, we're looking for cattle. What? You know, a herd of cow. Well, certainly I heard of cows.
And the last thing we can't do here is... we can't pass this big ol' rock. Our sword's just not good enough for it. And I want to just check around the back to see if there was anything here. There was not, so... why don't we go see ol' Mutsube? I think that was his name. I've forgotten. The pipe maker. Yes, you do actually have to climb up Mount Fuji. It's a lot easier once you're used to the platforming of this game and have a lot more hearts. But nothing new happens here, so... I just skipped most of it. Thankfully, you do not have to fight... was it Final Starman? I think it was Final Starman. No, wait, no, that was Gigas' lair. Ghost of Starman? The joke is the one at mountain near the end of Earthbound with the enemies that just murder you.
Okay.
They're not here. We want our weapons improved, Mokube. I will slap my knee so hard your weapons will improve. There you go. I just covered your pipe in silver. You now cannot use it as a pipe, but you can whack someone better with it. Yae also gets a new move with her weapon upgrade, the Sword Shield. So let's see, we've got Goemon's new weapon. Abysamaru's new weapon. Sasuke gets 2 kunai to differentiate from the Dagger of Sheer Cold. And Yae gets a new katana, and she can do this if you hold down the button.
Nice.
This is the stance. This can, of course, just block projectiles, but I don't really do that too often. But, you know, I can do that at least.
You turn to face Mokube while doing that and you just blow him out of the room.
I feel like that should be a joke in this game. Alright, so, with new weapons in hand, let's see what this rock thinks about this. It thinks nothing of our strike. Wait a minute. No! Impossible!
You hit that rock's pressure point.
Large rock. You don't even know that you've been killed.
I can't think of the You're Already Dead stuff without thinking of the dub from the movie. Just, tough luck, lard-ass, you're already dead.
Oh, what a weird iteration of the line. Personally, I know the rock was actually split in half, but for some reason I did just think of that. I think that was the One Punch Man bit with the with the Sword Master, who's just like, ah, shit, all these guys are expecting a lot from me, but I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can show off this cool new technique. I'm just gonna leave. And everyone's just like, my god, he sliced that apple in half. The apple hasn't even realized it's been cut.
What I love is that it's not even the whole room. Like, most of the room is like, what did he do? He just left in one guy. It's like, my god, they don't even know.
Didn't even see his attack. Alright, so here's the witch we've been hearing about recently. I mean, if that were the case, I'd just go to the fortune teller. All I need to do is look at your face and I know what you're thinking of, looks at Abysamaru. I don't wish to look at that man anymore. I see only the void in your eyes. Only the wise old man is strange. Also, he's in a dark place, so he's in hell. Or specifically whatever the underworld in Gilgamesh is called. I forget the name of that one. Just a big old dusty house where people go to die, and it's real sad.
With my powers, I could call him out here. She pulls out her phone and pulls up Twitter.
Alright, so this not really the heftiest charge as long as you've been collecting Rio and not using it up too much, so 300 for me is just a drop in the bucket, but I guess if that's a problem for you, just go back to all the grind points I've pointed out. You can grind 300 Rio pretty quickly if you actually need to. Again, you probably don't need to. Take that! Alright, I've defeated you in Phoenix Wright. Now you have to talk to these people. You know, multiplayer Phoenix Wright.
I think that exists now.
Well, shit.
I think that's a fan game. It's like a role-playing thing. There's no mechanics for winning.
Okay.
You just have to, like, agree. But, I don't know. I think that counts.
Close enough for me. Alright, so, Wise Man is telling us what to do from the dark place he's in, and he's actually telling us to get the miracle items, which, hey, lucky us, we were collecting those MacGuffins before we even knew they were important. We've already got 3 of the 4. Oh, that Wise Man. Oh, you've already been playing this video game. Good for you. Alright, well, where's the last one? I should be looking for the miracle item. Alright, just fuck off already. Go get the miracle item. Alright, so, where to go to now? We know we need one more miracle item, so how do we go about getting that? Well, first let's just take the easy way down the mountain, which is running down it until you get to the slope you slide down to prevent you from going up like this. So we're gonna go back to the Uzun Tunnel, and before we move on to where we need to go, I did mention that there's a fortune doll here. So we've got this waterfall. Could just keep going on that way, but this is the only waterfall we can really take here. Let's see where this leads. It leads to a river full of weird heads shooting bullets at me. Alright, cool.
This is our river.
Hey, go away.
I don't know how I feel about this redesign of the River Zora. Yeah, in the new Legend of Zelda game, there are just human heads that pop out of rivers and shoot at you.
I'm surprised that's not what the case was in Twilight Princess, to be entirely honest. My greatest foe yet, this ladder.
I'm still... Never mind. Thought it was actually a bit shorter than I thought. Snake Eater. And also, really was way too loud on that opening line.
Alright, so we're in a slightly different spot, actually. We're a little higher up than we were initially. We actually want to be near the bottom, because this is the entrance, so let's just skip over here. So, now that we can actually do anything at this waterfall, instead of getting that away message, we get the narrator. I'm gonna pass on this one. I love how there are just so many different wordings for just saying no to things. It's great.
It's a really easy thing for a video game to do, and I always appreciate it.
Alright, so we gotta swim to the top of the waterfall. Which ain't too easy. But we gotta do that to complete the mermaid training. And as always, the Oyakatas are just gonna be in our way. So hopefully you're good at mashing buttons, because you gotta mash the A button. Now, doesn't look like we have much time, and these guys are relentless. However, I did get this minigame first try without much of an issue, so I don't really think it's too bad. I got bonked by a lot of dudes, and yet the distance you actually have to travel is pretty short, all things considered, and I still had 24 seconds left. So with this, we also get Yei's magic in this episode, in addition to Goemon's. So Yei gets mermaid magic powers, which is extremely cool. Now granted, I didn't have a mermaid phase, but, you know, I don't think I really had any phases when I was younger, because, I was boring and had no friends. I mean, what? But yeah, now we actually get to go underwater, and it's pretty good. Controls pretty well. You just hold the A button, and Yei will swim in the direction she's facing. Just stop for a moment if you want to change directions. You can also press the B button to charge, which is a bit faster than just swimming normally, but you know, why don't we just swim normally for a bit? It's nice. It's relaxing. There's not like that much going on underwater in most cases, but I still think this is a pretty neat feature.
So I feel like Nintendo 64 games especially had the most fucked up content in underwater areas. So, like, how long until we see something that's absolutely terrifying?
Nothing too bad in this game, actually.
Huh.
And also, I don't know, I feel like most fucked up underwater content is actually kind of contentious, because the Genesis did have Echo the Dolphin. The game that taught many to be horrified of the ocean.
Part of it is that the ocean is just fucked up in real life.
Yep. I think Ultima 9 was on the PC, but it was probably around this era that game was made. That game just has horrifying fish in it. Just gigantic, toothy fish, whom I hate. So real quick, we have this hidden shop where you can buy gold armor, which defends you from the most attacks in the game, I think. I think typically you get 4 shots on armor and that's it. But you can also buy extra lives here. They're a bit pricey, and there is one more place where we'll need to buy stuff in the game, so I wouldn't suggest buying too many, but if you need them, then there they are.
If you're bad at the game, but good at getting money in the game.
I mean, to be fair, I guess kids wouldn't pick up on grind spots maybe as well, but like, it's pretty easy to find money. You don't usually have to defeat enemies for it. Again, you can just walk into the first dungeon, just grab a whole lot of money, walk out, walk back in, and you're good. You got money there.
Yeah, I guess also if you got lost a lot, you pick up a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. That being said, though, you do have to be extremely bad to die a lot in Goemon. I will admit. Like, the only thing that has killed me on screen is the dragon, because I got a whole lot of glitches on there, and just riding the dragon is not easy. And then the only thing that kills you in one hit is just the crushers, but if you're at this point, you might need to go back to Festival Temple Castle for one thing, but that's it. Alright, and so our last stop for the episode is the sea around Japan, which, as we've been told, there's just a whole lot of ice covering this place, so we're just going to be underwater for this whole segment. But it's not very long. We've also got another extra life here, so didn't need to waste 500 Ryo for that. And yeah, at this point I'm just dashing. There is just a very small point where Yei stops, and you kind of lose momentum from that, but you can dash pretty quickly, so I'm positive this is faster than just holding A, but, you know, sometimes you just want to take your time in underwater segments. You know, the thing people famously like doing in the underwater stages of games, being slow. Though, to be fair, there's not, like, a lot to look at underwater, as I said, so... The underwater controls are actually pretty good, just there's not much to do down here. But maybe there'll be more to do in the next dungeon, which we'll be entering next time on Mystical Ninja, starring Goemon. Gonna stare it down then, swim straight up into it.